Hey, we're going to get down and dirty with relationship calculator. So I just did an Instagram live. Yes, I have an Instagram channel, and no, I never post anything. So I'm like, hey, maybe I should start doing that. I was listening to Alexander Quinn because Mark Atwood was interviewing him, and the guy's booked out for like 4 months doing readings, and I was like, how do you do that? How can I do that? What do I do? And he's like, oh, I make my little Instagram things every day, and I'm like, I need to do that. So I just did a quick 3-card pull for today. So if you want to find me on Instagram, I think it's just called Kismet Cards. Let me find it. See what it looks like. Here's my... Is that it? No, sorry. Oh, Stuart took a video of the pretty snow yesterday. Okay, is this... Okay, this is... Yes, it's called Kismet Cards. And that's the little logo. And here's the video that I did for today. See, I'm wearing the same clothes and glasses and everything. So I actually had Shoshana, my card student, show up in class. It was awesome. So the relationship calculator, if you're watching this replay, hey Claudio, how are you? So nice to see you. Remind me when your birthday is. Okay, if you're watching this, get your pen and your paper and get your 2 cards that you're going to look at. And I'm thinking as a demonstration, I might do my relationship to like my business. If I did my relationship to the cards themselves, that would be interesting. I'm trying to think of what I think the 9 of Spades is the card of my business. So yeah, so that's the calculation that I'm going to do. Cosmic Sunflower, hello. And I can also just pull cards for individuals if you have questions and stuff, but this is the content for today. So if you want me to experiment on you and a relationship that you have, what this calculation does is it figures out each person's individual lessons as well as your lessons together, and then the rewards that happen, and then you just kind of keep going down and down and down to figure out all kinds of stuff. Let's see, I did a yes, here's my little scribblings of my husband and I to make sure that I remembered. It is just incredibly accurate, and the older the relationship is, the more richness comes out of it, because we've been together almost 14 years now, and I can see, you know, we're down the flow chart of, we've got about maybe 4 or 5 major cards to look at this point. So, you know, it's not a whole lot if you're like fresh into the relationship, but if you're more progressed, it is fascinating to see the layers, the deeper layers of everything. So just for the sake of having something to talk about, I'm going to do my own, and I'll show you how to set up your chart. So 7 of Diamonds is the 33rd card, so that's the value we're going to be working with. And then the 9 of Spades is 48. I think it's 48 because 10 of Spades is 49. Okay, so 48. So obviously you add them together. Your relationship combination is 4 of Spades. Here's a 2 of Hearts and then okay, good. I will look at that. Oh, your relationship combination is a 4 of Spades. He is a 2 of Hearts and you're the 2 of Spades. Okay, well, let's look at that. Okay, so I'm going to write down Cosmic Sunflower, and we'll take it down a few more layers. How long have you been together? Okay, he's 2 of Hearts, which is 2. That's easy. You are the 2 of Spades, which is 41. Is that right? I think that would be right. Because okay, where's my... Where did you go? have a chart where I have all the numbers. Oh gosh, I've got them all over the place. Yeah, you're 41. So 41, 42, 43, 4 of spades. So you see how we did that? We added 41 to 2, and we get 43. Oh, excellent, 9 years. So you're going to be able to see some stuff. Okay, so then you just draw this little thing here. And the numeric value of 4 of spades is 43. There you go. What that means is they are here to learn the 4 of spades. They are here to embody the 4 of spades and to define it for themselves and for everyone else. That is our relationship reward number 1. Our composite is the 10 of spades. Okay, so if you want to figure out what your particular work is in the relationship, which is so cool because it's like their work is not your work, and it takes a while to kind of figure that out. You have different work. You would add your value to the composite. So Cosmic Sunflower would add 41 to 43, and this is her work. 84 minus 52 is 32, which is the 6 of diamonds. So your work is the 6 of diamonds. Always put the value of the card underneath it because you're going to need it. Okay, so what does that mean? That her work is the 6 of diamonds. We added her card, 2 of spades, to the composite, 4 of spades, to get her work, the 6 of diamonds. It is about commitment, steadiness, work, routine, predictability. I'm also getting that there is a very specific, when you get a 6, it means, karma of some kind. There was some agreement, some assignment that you have, and I'm getting that it was a sacred contract that's unique to you. And that is your work. And in a sense, that's true with all of us. But with you, they're just showing me this like really beautiful little kind of gilded package of something really precious that you're like, okay, I can slot this in. This relationship is going to work so that I can do this work. I'm going to slot this thing in. So you could also look at all of the different ways that you're aspected to the 6 of diamonds. What's the significance of that card for you? How do you work with it? I'm looking for my big graph. I don't know. I must have taken it somewhere. Dang it. My grid. I might have to go get that. Yes, I'm going to go get it. So what is his work? I will leave you to add 43 to 2. And what does that mean? So yes, of course, it's 45. His work is the 6 of spades. The 6 of spades, all of the spades and their numbers are like really harmoniously significant somehow. And 45, there are 45 movable positions in the deck. 45-year cycle that we go through, and the 6 of spades is the karma card. So both of your work is a 6. That's very cool. And being a heart, he's like, oh man, this is all about spades here, making it real. But most of his hand is in the Mars line, so he's okay with that. So 6 of spades, 45. And that, again, would be like his own karmic thing. It's like, I see you guys 2, 4, 6. There's an incredible amount of symmetry and balance here. And what I'm feeling for you guys is you're looking for balance with each other and balance within yourselves. And it's just a very balanced machine, and the wheels go round and round. It just feels really harmonious. Okay, let's get to your first reward. So when you do your work, whatever your 6th thing and his 6th thing is, and usually I'm very much more specific about what that work is, but you guys are kind of unique in that it's like, okay, your own personal karma. It just feels very customized. You would add 32 to 45. So I always do this off to the side to keep it sort of clean and pretty. 77 minus 52 is 25, which is the Queen of Clubs. So the first relationship reward is the Queen of Clubs. I should really make up like a flow chart for people so that they can do this for themselves. So there's your reward. Your first reward for doing your individual work is the Queen of Clubs, if she is indeed card number 25. Yeah, because 20, no, that's wrong. Is it? No, that's halfway through the deck. That's the end of the clubs. Yeah, so 25. 25. So you reward, okay, the Queen of Clubs she's really nurturing. She can anticipate what your needs are, and intuitively she wants to meet them, and because she knows how, and because she's a queen, she wants to. They're saying this has more to do with the organization of information. So the Queen of Clubs also represents like filing systems, data entry, a library, organizing information, kind of like the queen is the mother that is getting all of the troops in line and organizing them, and she will help you organize your ideas and your information. So how does that work with the two of you? I mean, is that relevant to like what you do or what you're about? I would say that, so yeah, you're both twos, so you're both very relational anyway, very connected, and this just gives you like a higher level of intuitive connection to each other and to yourselves and to spirit. Okay, now the next one is the personal reward. So the personal reward is you add your card, and I just have come up with all of this. I looked at that other guy's book and I was like, no, he's got the labels all wrong. So does that sound a little condescending of me? Anyway, so you would add the 2 of spades to the 6 of diamonds to get your personal reward. Okay, so PR for the cosmic sunflower is 41 plus 32. 73 minus 52 is 21. I think that's the 8 of clubs. Am I right? Yeah. So your personal reward. Oh, I've messed up my little diagram. How am I going to do this? Okay, I'll just scoot it down here. PR, personal reward, 8 of clubs. So I have this over here. Your personal reward, you add the 2 of spades to your work, and your personal reward is the 8 of clubs. That's like a higher knowing, access to the Akashic records. Interesting that that so far we have clubs as rewards. Yeah, I'm just guessing that it's a more like agile, there's an agility of connection and intuition there. 8 of clubs just has access, and it's also a really strong, powerful sense of, I know what I know. I know what I think, and kind of permission to be sort of rigid or more stubborn about it. 2 of spades tend to be they acclimate very well to whoever they're with and whatever they're with. So this 8 of clubs gives you some like boundaries and some solidity, and like, I'm unwilling to move off of this position, which might not necessarily make the relationship easier, but hey, it's the benefit that comes out of working with this person. Let's get his personal reward. So we would add 2 for 2 of hearts to 45, which is his work, and we get 47. Put 21 there. 47, which is that the 8 of spades? I wouldn't be surprised. You guys are so symmetrical. Yeah, wait, 8 of spades. So you guys are the most symmetrical couple. This is really great. PR, personal reward. So now we're looking at his side. Okay, somebody like throw me a heart or a comment or something because I need to know if that's still working because the last comment I have is from Claudia saying they've been together for 9 years. So just let me know. Here's me sending a heart. There. Okay. So his personal reward for doing his work, and the Six of Spades is some contract that he's fulfilling. It's some karma, something that he's balancing out that's personal. And it could also have to do with being regular, consistent. What I'm getting is like he's willing to take the results of whatever, like he's willing to take the karma that's coming to him from whatever. I feel this openness, this willingness to be like, okay, this is the lifetime where I pay off this thing. And with him doing that, he gains the reward of the Eight of Spades, and your reward is the Eight of Clubs. 2, 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8 with the Queen in the middle. That is so cool. So what is the Eight of Spades? Strength, discipline, power, physical presence. It's very substantial. And I think that strength aspect is the most important part of that. So you really are building each other up to be strong in yourselves as individuals. Okay, so I'm going to do one more card, which is, oh, good. It's extremely true. When we met, he had a better handle on his purpose and mission in life, Six of Spades. I had a better grip in my financial life. Now it's reversed. We now master what the other had. Oh, isn't that interesting? So now it's about, so that's just an interesting contemplation too about when you get in relationship. I would look at all my husband's cards and go, how has he been a mirror for this energy or offered the opportunity for me to look at that? Yeah, definitely. His work is the King of Hearts, which was basically like, grow up, become a man. Be gracious and sensitive. Like it's kind of a father energy. And I've definitely had to do that myself. Okay, so the next card is asset, the personal asset. So you add the reward in the middle to your card, and it's an asset for you personally, and then you come back together for reward number 2. You add those together. So you would add the Two of Spades plus the Queen of Clubs to get your asset. And this definitely feels, I mean, I've worked this all out because this is exactly how our relationship panned out. Okay, so it would be 41 plus 25 is 66 minus 52 is 14. I haven't had to borrow with any of these either, which is just interesting. 14 is the Ace of Clubs, right? 13 is the King of Hearts. 14 goes into the club suit. So your personal asset, we'll call it the PA, is the Ace of Clubs. Self-knowledge or curiosity or a beginning of knowledge into just something new. And the personal reward tends to feel like it manifests in your business, your sphere, rather than your couple sphere. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Ray. I love it when you join, listening while you work. Okay, so what is his personal asset? So we take the Two of Hearts plus the reward, which is the Queen of Clubs. So that would be 25, 26, 27. Ace of Diamonds. 27. Ace of Diamonds. And yes, I just sort of have memorized the numbers of a lot of the cards. So his personal asset that he's gained is maybe starting a new business, Ace of Diamonds, maybe a new sense of value for himself. So you're both aces. Again, your personal assets are parallel. Your personal rewards were both eights. Your personal work was both sixes, and now your personal assets are both aces. New beginnings. This is amazing. So the Ace of Diamonds would be for him, I get to start over again, or I have a whole new desire for money. So you had your financial shit together, and maybe he's getting that more together now, thinking more about it, which is nice. It's nice, right? He's thinking about providing for you. Sorry, a little marital issue there. He does provide. He does provide a lot. Anyway, so the Ace of Diamonds, yeah, is that a new beginning for him financially, a new desire for money? The Queen of Clubs reward sounds like us doing community development work together and hosting an annual event for kids and teenagers. Jeannie, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, Cosmic Sunflower, I was getting kind of a feeling, and do you want me to call you by your name instead of Cosmic Sunflower? I was getting a sense of remember organizing? It's like I saw a room with shelves and books. And so, yeah, this very much could be this service-oriented. Yeah, it's been too long, but me too, right? You just go through chapters. I did my first Instagram Kismet Live, just a 3-card draw Instagram. I'm called Kismet Cards. So everybody go over there and subscribe to Kismet Cards. And then we'll see if we can do a longer live on Instagram, or maybe I should keep those shorter. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to, work that machinery, Instagram, because I just go on there to watch dog videos. So, I don't know what kind of audience is into getting readings, but somebody was like, I just popped on here, so I figured it was fortuitous, and you came up, so it was like, maybe this reading is just for me. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly how it works. That's how I'm thinking it's going to work. Okay, so there's one more card. It's reward number 2. We're doing Cosmic Sunflower and her husband. So, yes, we add those 2 assets together. We would add your asset. And I just want to say, my husband's personal asset card is the 7 of Hearts. And after all of this time, in this last chapter, like the last couple of years, he has just begun to broach the subject of forgiving his narcissistic mother and the whole family. And that 7 of Hearts wouldn't have made sense 10 years ago, even 6 years ago. But now it makes sense. It's like, wow, he's coming into that. And my personal asset is the Jack of Clubs, which is this kind of innovation, creativity. I'm doing a lot of writing. I just love to write. It's like my favorite thing. Okay, so you might have done this already, Cosmic Sunflower. You add Ace of Clubs to Ace of Diamonds. So that's 14 plus 27 is 41. The first one where I had to carry. So 41, that's your card. That's the 2 of Spades. I've seen this before. This has shown up before, where there's someone else's work or the mutual reward was the main person's card or one person's card. So, yes, bring these together. Reward number 2. Number 1, 2 of Spades. And it's interesting, too, that the 2 of Spades is karma to the 6 of Spades, which was his work. So again, the reward that you have may be relevant to his work. So reward number 2 may or may not have shown up yet for you, but it just seems kind of simple and obvious, right? Oh, that's a really ugly spade that I made, but anyway, there's your reward. And it could continue to go down, but at this point in my life, I'm like, wow, it's been almost 14 years and we are not to our reward number 2, which is 5 of Diamonds, financial freedom. I'm starting to feel it, like in my manifesting energy. I'm starting to feel it. Okay, so how is the 2 of Spades reward number 2? Yeah, that 7 of Hearts is really, really deep. And it's really painful, but it's like I'm just watching him crack open and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, I never imagined that he would ever get to a place of forgiveness and letting go, letting go. So, anyway, two of spades just means like another level of partnership. So, I would say, are you entering into another level of partnership? Okay, so that is Cosmic Sunflower and her husband. Woo, woo! Would you like to take a screenshot of this? I'll hold it up for just a second, try to get it straight. Yeah, there you go. You can go back there and screenshot it. It's 25 minutes and 22 seconds or something. Would somebody else like to dive into this calculation? Because it is insanely accurate and rewarding in terms of like, wow, we really have gained that. Yeah, another two of spades. Okay. And the symmetry of that was just wild. Okay, I understand. I totally understand if you don't want to expose your relationship. Okay, I'm going to talk about mine. So I'm the 7 of diamonds and he is the 3 of clubs. Our, what would you call that? I mean, we just have like a one word thing for composite. The composite. I would say the primary work or the name of the house you're building. And it's not something that you get or understand necessarily. It's something that you're working on. And the way you are aspected to that card, so Cosmic Sunflower, the way you're aspected to the 4 of spades being your composite, your past life Venus to that. So what you're supposed to be figuring out together, that 4 of spades, your composite, is you're supposed to be defining security, safety. And that's Venus to you, which is home. It's like, ooh, that's really comfortable. This is, and that's another one of those reasons that some relationships just, they feel like someone will say, I feel like I just can't be myself in this relationship, or it's too much work, or I just feel like I've come home when I see this person. I mean, these are a lot of the reasons. You are so welcome. It is truly fascinating. Okay, so ours is the 10 of spades, our first composite or the house that we're building. We are trying to figure out success. And what does it mean? Okay, we're both, I would say, in some ways, have genius ability, genius aspect. We're both really unique, really strange. He's also the 9 of hearts / 7 of diamonds. So we're just kind of different, this Aquarian energy. And so we have to define success for us, and our capacity to be busy is astronomical. It's like the way I think of the 10 of spades is it's a team of 10,000 horses. It's 10,000 horsepower. And if you have your shit together enough to where all of their little feet are touching the ground, you're going to get traction and frickin' go somewhere fast and get a lot done. Well, our little feet aren't all touching the ground. So when that 10 of spades shows up, it's going to show you where the rubber is meeting the road. Oh, he's moving my car so he can park in his place. Yes, I parked in his place. So I might have to cut this short in a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, the 10 of spades, it's going to bring a sense of despair, depression. I am so not plugged in. I am so not using my potential. I mean, I've seen this show up a number of times. When this card shows up in a 52-day period, the pervasive experience is not, oh my God, I'm so busy. It's like, so fucked. Because you have all of this ability and all these horses that just aren't meeting the ground. So anyway, that's one of the ongoing challenges we have. And also defining success. And that's a big one, right? So my work is the 4 of diamonds, which is I am enough. I have enough. This is enough. Just the other day, I went through this mental inventory of everything in my cupboards, and I was like, I have so much abundance. And it was like, yes, that's a demonstration that I've done the work of that 4 of diamonds. And just this foundation of self. I am enough. Even if you don't get me or you disagree with me, I'm enough. His work was the King of Hearts, which is growing up, like I mentioned before, just, emotionally maturing, which it's a long time. Oh, we rag on our partners, don't we? But bless him, he's really amazing. So then our first number one reward is the 4 of spades. That's our first reward. And getting this place was the manifestation of that. And that was like 11 years, 10 or 11 years into the relationship. It was like, oh, we have a place that feels like ours now. We live on a 5-acre spread. We do have to rent the land, but we totally gutted and remodeled this old trailer. And we love it. We totally remodeled the kitchen. The dogs have this huge amount of space to run. There's a irrigation ditch that runs along the back, and it's a 100-year-old irrigation ditch, so it has these enormous trees. Deer walk through all the time. It's like a few blocks outside of the city limits, so it just couldn't be more perfect. It's this home that we both got, and it took that long to manifest. We should get on a call soon. I want to share what I've discovered about the chemistry of the cards. Oh, totally. That would be really fun. It would be really fun just to have something that I don't even have a name for, where everybody pays just a really nominal fee just to get in on that conversation, like $10 to get a link and be like, oh, let's watch them go back and forth and then be able to interact about the chemistry of the cards, because that sounds really sparkly. That 4 of diamonds will attract value out of anything, thin air even. Thank you. That's really cool. Jeannie, let's plan that. That's a really good idea. Okay. And we should have alchemy in the title, because you've got chemistry there. It just feels like the alchemy of... Is it about relationship in particular when you talk about chemistry of the cards? Maybe we could call it alchemy of relationships. I don't know. That's okay. That's very encouraging. Cosmic Sunflower about the 4 of diamonds. And they do. The people that I think about, they're very magnetic, especially the women 4 of diamonds. Very cool. Oh, let's see. Yeah, our personal rewards are definitely really, really fitting. My personal reward from doing my work in the relationship is the Jack of Hearts, which is a more Christ-like approach to everything, which is a total fit. His is the Ace of Diamonds. He finally gave in and realized that he needs to be an entrepreneur, so it was like perfect. At one point, he's like, I'm not going to be an entrepreneur. Stop it. And then when he gave into it, it's like things just started to flow. Like the tree, but it goes all the way with the cards. I've gone all the way up the whole 13 cards with the point of view for each. It basically tells the whole story. Oh, and is that from this guy's book that I don't have handy anymore, that relationship? Because he'd used that term, the point of view. Wow, it sounds like one of those really full-on like, numerological readings. Well, I guess any card reading is like that too. This card is this, and this card is this, and 13 cards later, you're like, and this is what it's like when you go to the store. Yeah, cool. I am going to use this relationship calculator for long-standing relationships, like countries or legislation. Or, oh, it would be a really good one, would be Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, because they have this lifelong relationship. I was figuring out all their cards last time I was watching the Adams thing, John Adams, and then they both died the same day, which was the 4th of July, 18 whatever, which happened to be the 50th anniversary of our nation's independence. It's like, that is so freaking cosmic. I love it. I feel like he kind of started it, but I completed it. I know exactly how you feel. It's like he's like, there's something over there, but he just didn't have the depth, I think, or perhaps emotional development get the nuances of like, okay, this is really the meat of, because you have to recognize what those energies feel like in your life to be able to realize which card they correspond to, and then how and where does that show up in your life. It starts with recognizing the energy. Yeah, that makes sense. But he opened a door, you know, so that's really cool for people like us to go in there. Okay, shall we do just a card spread for those of us gathered here? Jeannie, this is so cool because my guides were like, yes, talk about doing something, but don't do it. Don't try to set it up. It'll come in your next reading. And so here you show up and it's like, ooh. And I just had this urge. I was like, I got to go live right now because I just really want to dig into this relationship calculator thing. And Cosmic Sunflower was kind enough to give us her and her husband's cards. And it's like, oh God, it's so cool. Okay, 3 cards for us today. And Jeannie, this is especially for you. I don't know why, but maybe you got big money coming. 10 of Diamonds. Queen of Clubs. Jack of Clubs. And we have the Ace of Spades on the bottom, which is the card system itself. Isn't this the grooviest looking ace? It's like a fractal. There's a club in the middle of it. What's up with that? Okay, anyway, so that my guide said use the same formula I did this morning. So here's the situation. The situation could be described as, this is everything in your life. This is just everything. A lot of something. A lot of money. Maybe this is your finances. Maybe this is the whole world's finances. That's really relevant right now, isn't it? Like I've never, one doesn't think about millions and billions and trillions too much. And like, how do you measure that? It's kind of outside our realm of like, I don't know, do we have trillions of cells in our bodies? Anyway, before I get into politics. So this is about our money. This is what we're not seeing, is that there is, what would you girls say? What would you guys say? This is what we're not seeing about this. Type it in there. I know you're getting really cool hits. And I'll give you my hit. This is Esther Hicks. This is manifesting intuition. That's my immediate take on it, is that there is the attracting way. It's not a king and it's not an 8. It's not about going out there and making it happen. The message is go within and counsel with yourself. Maybe a broader global message would be Mother Mary has something to do with this whole process. Maybe this is about kindness. Okay, and then this is, the third card was, advice for like moving forward, what you can do about this situation, about your not being in touch with your intuition. Okay, good. Jeannie has a response. 10 of Diamonds is supported by my Mercury card, the Queen of Spades. And the challenge is the Queen of Clubs. It's time for me to come out of hermit mode and share what I value most, the 10 of Diamonds, and allow my intuition to lead with the Ace of Spades, like the cards. Yes. Oh, I love that. Your King tuition. The Jack of Clubs is my Venus, so maybe I have to take some chances and be more lighthearted about it and laugh about it. Okay, so I would say for all of us in general, in regard to your finances, trust your intuition and be a little more lighthearted about it. Be creative. Be open. She's all about being open. I think of her like the receptivity card in the Osho Zen, where it's not even a head, there's just this openness. she's in a receiving mode. So just like I did that Instagram live because I was doing this manifesting meditation and I was like, oh, I really should do something. You know, I had that should voice going on and I was like, no, I'm going to go deep into feeling loved and nourished right now. And I'm going to do this manifesting meditation because I do this 3 times a day and I am not going to listen to that should. I'm going to go deeper into feeling loved, drown out the should voice, and when I pop out, I'll know what to do. And I did. And I did the Instagram thing and it was really cute. So, Queen of Clubs, there's possibly a more intuitive way to go about this, a way that doesn't scatter your energy. Oh, I really like that. That's a really good interpretation. So the 10 of Diamonds can just indicate like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much going on. And she's like, go within. Maybe you haven't listened to your intuition about all of this out there. And there's so much pressure about the all and the everything and the just like it's too much out there. There's so much pressure about how to deal with that and what it means. And, blah, 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 blah. And the diamonds are like, should, you know. And this is like, but what's my take? If I go deep, shut all that out. Yeah. The Jack of Clubs, he's so perfect here because it's like mother and son, and they're like not even looking at each other, and they're just kind of hanging out. And he's like, yeah, look at that over there. So, and the Ace of Spades, the bath of the bottom is, I would say, I mean, it is the card system, and we're all here talking about the cards. So that's a very literal interpretation of this moment, but I would also say that it's in the process of becoming more defined as an individual, and which I think is the secret. That's the secret, is me, you, what I am becoming. Who am I really? I showed up as a 7 of Diamonds, but who am I really? Oh my God, I have to tell you guys something. So I had a former client contact me out of the blue because she was just really desperate for some help and didn't have any money. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to help you. And so it ended up being this trade. And she has gotten really good at past life regressions and stuff. And I recognized all the things she was borrowing from, the different, because I'd read them and I had just started to like listen to Freddie's or Jose Silva again. And I recognized Silva things in her method. And I was like, that's so crazy. That was so out of the blue. I hadn't thought about the Silva method forever. Anyway, I went into this lifetime. Okay, I'm just going to tell you this much. Probably a total lie. I'll tell you more. But I went into this lifetime like, you know, usually you start out at your current age and then you go back 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you know, and I just went, boom, I went into this past life. She's like, tell me what you see. So I come out. She's like, you're going to see a scene when you're 50 years old, 8 years ago. And so I come out and I have little red shoes on, red tennis shoes. And I look down at my arms and they're man arms. And I'm African American. I am a very, very strong man. It was so, I was like, is this really happening? And she's like, what year is it? And I said, 1942. What's your name? Ralph. Where do you live? Outside of Syracuse, New York. What do you do? I work in some kind of factory. I'm a machinist, and I have a position of responsibility. I'm very strong, and I'm very proud of the responsibility that I've been given. And my wife is Tiffany. Oh my God, that's my best friend, Tara. And she's really tiny. And it was so cool. And this gal that gave me this reading is African American too. And so we got to this place of being able to be like, these are just these suits that we're wearing this time around. And after I died, we go through the death, you know, in the past life regression, and I you know, transition. I'm going up to heaven, and I release a lot of stuff, just so much shit that I released that I know I have carried into this lifetime. Like, I feel like I have to apologize for being who I am, and that I'm inherently flawed. And it's like, oh my God, this all makes so much sense. And I had a wonderful life, wonderful family, da 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 da. And I die, and I transition, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be leaving my identity as Ralph, and I can't do it. I'm like, damn it, I love these arms. Because I was like 30 again, and I was like, I'm so strong. And I know that was another purpose for that particular lifetime is to remember how strong I am. Yes, I should have asked next time. Next time I do a regression with her, because we're going to be doing a lot of back and forth now. I'm just going to get her to ask me, "What's your birthday?" so that I can look what my card was. Oh, that's so sweet. Crystal, hi. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had some crazy past lives. We all have, right? Just like Sting's song, we've all been everything. 1,000 years, 1,000 lives. Um, I am a like in one, he's like a thief, and the next one he returns as a judge to judge another's crimes. Um, and then a common thief. Anyway, you're King of Hearts, Four of Clubs, and Four of Spades, so you're Scorpio. That's a lot, isn't it? Are you like really structured and organized? Are you a mom? I bet you are just the most cheerful, fun, abundant, happy person to go on a picnic with and like go to the like have a kid date. I'm new to this system, but just purchased Robert Lee Camp's books and started reading them. Oh, isn't that so much fun? You just started? This is a really ancient copy of one of his books, and I really should get the blue one because he's got some interesting information in the beginning. But I am so glad that you've dove in. And if you will send me your email, you're a mom, and I'm really cheerful. I have the ability to tune into people, so it's not just the cards. But would you like me to send you? This is the first time I'm doing this, but just for your first joining live, I will send you a free report on the King of Clubs. So I send it through email. So just if you feel comfortable leaving your email in here, that's great. That'd be really easy. And if you can't, go to my website, which is in the description below, and then look at like readings or cosmic connections, and you'll get my contact information. And then you can text me what your email is, and I will send you a report of the King of Hearts. Wouldn't that be fun? So anyway, so my past life, should I keep talking about that? It was really fun. Yeah, I had a really hard time letting go of my identity as Ralph. And I was like, and there I am laying in my bed. I'm 58. I'm this little white woman in a 2025. And I can't let go of the idea that I'm Ralph. Like, okay, I'm a soul. I'm a transcendent soul. And I hardly even know myself. We do have a lot of lifetimes where we kind of look the same. Like I have a lot of lifetimes where I know I was about like this. I was maybe a little taller, but very similar. And then there are these other lifetimes where I was a heavy burlesque dancer in France. I was heavy. Very, very sumptuous. But that's because I had been this anemic German woman. By anemic, I just mean extremely thin. And she like worked in a sewing factory and was like a manager, just very dry. And then she went to see a burlesque show and completely fell in love with sensuality, turned into a lesbian, and then died and came back as a burlesque dancer. It's like, yep, I did that. It was great. Thanks. And this feels like the culmination lifetime, right? All of us are gaining so much knowledge about all of this, the transcendence of the soul, the multiplicity of identities. And like Robert Camp said to me one time, I just went to one workshop with him. He was in Colorado briefly, and he said, try not being your card, and I think about how, this is the outfit that you're wearing. It's like your skin. You can't get out of it. And your skin is your skin. It might change a little through your life, but it's pretty much your skin. Jeannie says the King of Hearts has a lot of troubling relationships. I feel like the biggest test is to figure out where to put your energy and into whom to put it. Not everyone deserves your love. And if they disturb, she's probably still writing. Oh, this is so fascinating. We all have such different angles on all of this. There are, what I have noticed about the King of Hearts and the King of Clubs, and this is probably true of the King of Diamonds and the King of Spades, is that they fall into one of two categories in dealing with their primary issue and their extremes. So I've known King of Clubs that were totally arrogant and they're like, I know everything. And like, isn't that obvious? Like, that's how it is because that's how I think it is. So that's the way it is. And it's just like the condescension and they're a poster child for sovereignty of belief, confidence. And then I've known other King of Clubs who can't do anything without consulting the cards or a psychic, or they just don't know. And the same with the King of Hearts. Like I've seen men that are totally subservient to the women in their lives. And I've seen other King of Hearts who make the most gifted managers of people, who both have very strong leadership energy and kindness and tenderness. My brother is a King of Hearts, and he's just amazing. So have you seen those extremes too with the King of Hearts? If they disturb your peace, you may need to cut them off, but it's because that card is here to learn to teach others how to love authentically and when to let go of that which hurts you. Wow. Does that resonate with you, Crystal? My daughter's name is Crystal. Crystal says, I have had nothing but trouble. I don't tend to open up very much, but a few times I have loved people, and I'm one of those I'll give even when I don't have, so you can imagine how that turns out. Yeah. I am dealing with a 7 of clubs, 9 of hearts. Oh, are they kind of bipolar? That's Robin Williams' card. Brilliant, genius, very challenging connection to be extremely difficult. And is he also a Cancer? I think he probably has Robin Williams' birthday. And I'm trying to figure out our connections, but it's like magnets, but it's complicated, so I get my feelings hurt a lot. Yeah, I have a hard time doing that. Jeannie says, all the kings have to deal with people betraying them, just like in the fairy tale stories. Oh, God, there's just such richness in what Jeannie shares. I just love it. And also the one-eyed king and the two-eyed king. I think the King of Diamonds is the only one that's eyed, and that's the very first card in the hand of the King of Hearts. So they can be blindsided or easily deceived or misled. And I think they have to learn to rely on something like that Jack of Spades in their hand. Mercury, Venus, Mars. It is their Saturn card, the Jack of Spades. It's like intuition. But the ascending, okay, so here's something that you won't hear from other people as a way to read these cards in an ascending order. So, Crystal, if you have one of these, your hand, here's your hand: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Here's your ascending hand: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. The Christ card is Jupiter. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Ace of Spades, transformation. Ace of Spades is a card of transformation. Pluto is transformation. So maybe that's one reason they have such a huge challenge. They're called to transformation like it's unavoidable. Cosmic Sunflower says, in my early 20s, I tried to avoid being the Queen of Spades. Yeah, she's saying that as a 2 of Spades, that's her personality card. But after my Saturn return, I love it now. The Moon card, Jeannie says the Moon card is the 2 of Hearts for the King of Hearts. The Karma is the Ace of Clubs. It's actually the 2 of Clubs. Are you talking about the card that's under it? The 2 of Clubs here? So it's a big thing to be a little selfish. You have to take time to feed that inner child to balance the emotions. The hermit mode helps sometimes. Well, 2 of Hearts, Ace of Clubs is going to mark your emotional life. So it's going to go back, and maybe this is what Jeannie is saying too, is that it's about relationship, but it's also about self. And you'll bounce back and forth between that. And really, what I say, the transcendent meaning of 2 of Hearts, Ace of Clubs is intimacy. You're working with intimacy in this lifetime. And the first and primary, most important intimacy is with yourself. The Karma to the Moon card, yes. So the 2 of Clubs Karma card would mean, how is your communication? Maybe it's something that you achieved in a past life. but it could be something that you're really working on. Crystal says, I am like a big kid. Like I have a 15-year-old. Well, he's almost 15 and an almost 18-year-old. My daughter is probably my best friend. We have a lot of fun together, but I'm like a big kid. Yes, you're doing a lot better. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so yes, the oh yeah, it's going to be totally challenging to be selfish as a King of Hearts female because you're also the Queen of Hearts. But the Queen of Hearts, she's pretty kick-ass because her first 3 cards start up here, Mercury, Venus, Mars, ruled by Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. They're all very masculine. They're all even, 10, 8, King. Very powerful cards here up in the crown for their position, for their number, and for their planetary influence. She can be like, I mean business. It is bedtime. And I'm not going to repeat myself. And the kids are like, oh. I mean, they can pull out the authority thing. So, yes, and being a heart, you're naturally going to resonate with childhood period of life. So I'm the 7 of diamonds. And my whole hand, of course, underneath. When I talk about underneath, I mean like in the pure spread. They're all hearts. And I very much correspond to the whole. In fact, one of my very strongest archetypes is the eternal child. So I have a really hard time with my skin aging. I actually bought Dr. Gundry's. You guys go see the YouTube advertisements of Dr. Gundry, is it okay to eat black olives or avocados? And then he talks about they're not actually sunspots, they're age spots. Polyphenols. Well, anyway, I actually bought his little vial of the polyphenol stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's my eternal child archetype. Okay. I mean, I can take stuff seriously. I know when to be serious and when not to, but I'm a kid at heart. Yes. Yes, I'm the one that I talk and talk, but when I'm done talking, I'm done. I'm 38 and I look, yes, you will always look young. Isn't that nice? I love my King of Hearts people, Jeannie says, but they have to make sure they take good care of their health and emotional body because relationship imbalances that cause emotional hurt seem to manifest in the physical elements. Yes. And also, that may have a connection to, so my brother, my illustrious brother, who's just like, he's living a vacation life. Like he has halitosis, but his wife, his soulmate, is lacking the sense of smell. And like it goes on and on and on, how perfect they are for each other. And he agrees now, maybe they're having a vacation lifetime. But his one Achilles heel is that he's kind of a hypochondriac. And he imagines himself having all kinds of ailments, and he never does. He's fine. But I think that 2 of clubs, you know how Robert Camp talks about the 2 of clubs being the fearful 2 of clubs, that karma card. I have experimented with asking King of Hearts, do you have a secret irrational fear? And so far, every single one of them do. It's almost a relief for them to go, yeah, like I'm afraid of being homeless. Like I know this really wealthy one. She's been wealthy her entire life. Never even close to needing to worry about that. And she's like, yes, I've always had a fear that I would be homeless. So who knows? You love the Queen of Hearts people. That's my dad's card. Oh, well, it's my ex's card, and it's my partner's ex's card. But it was also my life coach's card, August 27th. Yeah, I guess it all depends, right? It does for sure when I get my feelings hurt. I feel it in the pit of my stomach, like it's such an empty feeling. Oh, that makes sense. As a King of Hearts, I mean, I'm just kind of seeing it energetically. It's like, being the King of Hearts is like having a really big room to fill. And what do you fill it with? Do you fill it with your love, with divine love? Is it filled with parties of all kinds of who knows from where just to fill it up and create noise? There's a capacity to be that room for people. That really feels right. So my emotions play a large role in everything I do. I know, and being a Scorpio, I mean, it's like a fire-water combination. That can be really tricky. And fours, you're also the 4 of clubs and the 4 of spades. I've always thought of those of fours as being tender. That's the word that goes with a 4. They're tender. Oh, that is so sweet. So we had a really good back and forth about the King of Diamonds last time. And I was like, gosh, I never talked about the King of Diamonds. Is there another card out there that I just never talk about? Like, I usually don't talk about the Ace of Diamonds because there are so many of them. But my dad was the Ace of Diamonds. I have a student who is the Ace of Diamonds. In fact, she has my dad's birthday. Oh, no. See, this it always happens. You know, one person gets talking, but then the whole energy is supporting you, and we're all learning, and we're drawing stuff out of you too from the container. You're just the one that's making sound right now. Well, me, I mean, I feel like, why do I gotta be the one that's talking all the time here? How about one of you talks? I'm tired. My throat is tired here. Such a weird thing about YouTube. Okay, maybe next time we'll talk about the Ace of Diamonds. But if you guys want to just like put a little, like add a comment even after the video, because I will see it. I do go check, like, you know, the little whatever updates or alerts or whatever they have, like the little number next to your icon. So if people make comments after the video and they're like, I really want you to talk about the 7 of spades. You never talk about the 7 of spades. Please do ask, and don't feel like you're being selfish because you're all in the kingdom, right? Oh, the fixed energy cards. Oh, I love to talk about those. Okay, I'm going to talk about the Jack of Hearts briefly, and then I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go. Let's talk about the fixed energy cards next time. It's Monday now, so I'm thinking Thursday or Friday. I don't know. I'll just do it when the spirit moves. I'm trying really hard to be a little bit more of a 6 because the 6 of Diamonds is my personal ideal. It's one past the 4 after the Pluto. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. Oh, Robert! Robert, we were just checking out. He's the 9 of Diamonds. He was in a little class of mine once. I did have a little class. Oh, it was so fun. We should do that again. We are going to do a class with Jeannie, but it's not going to be a class exactly. It's just going to be an expensive discussion. You just have to pay like $10 to get the link to the discussion. Crystal, I'm going to try to get your notifications to show me when you're on again. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't show me. Oh, well, maybe you just have to hit it again. I mean, every once in a while, I say things that YouTube probably thinks are inappropriate. So I've gotten, what do you call it? Like warnings before. How do I get the link to join the discussion? Oh, wait, I haven't even created it yet. This is just a little twinkle in my eye at this point. But I will post it on my page. I have done that before. I'll post, I don't know, I'll make a, whatever you call it, like a poster or something. And then, you know, the means to contact me. And then we'll put it all together. And I'm a troglodyte, so it's going to be very low tech. Like, just text me, okay? And I'll send you a link. I mean, it might be like that. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, 6 of clubs? Yes, they are great. I have tons of 6 of clubs in my life. I highly recommend my report on my website of the 6 of clubs. I recommend them all, but it's like, for some reason, I got a lot of them. They know everybody. They do. What is it about the 6 of clubs? They know everybody. They get around. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was reading for a 6 of clubs recently, and I got this totally new hit on oh, I did a cosmic connection report for a 6 of clubs who's with a 6 of clubs, and she's in England, and I hope she watches my YouTube channel. Hi, you know who you are. And I was like, what a trip would that be to be, I mean, because being a 6 of clubs is like, you are the hall of mirrors of opposites. And then you're with another one of them. And it's like, okay, I'm going to take this bank of mirrors and you take that one. And you tell me how bad it is to be lazy. And I'll say, you need to be more of a rebel. And then we'll just change places and have the same conversation. I don't know. It's always tricky when you meet someone of your own card, but it's unique because you do have your own cosmic personal relationship to your card. When you figure out karma cards and all of that kind of stuff, everyone's relationship to themselves is very unique. I gotta catch up now. The discussion's cooking. But I definitely am interested in joining your discussion. I always listen to your videos. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Crystal. They're intuitive as heck. Yeah, they are. They carry relationships from past lives because they sit Saturn, Neptune. Oh, what an obvious interpretation. Never thought about that. But yeah, I think that's spot on. Just tuned in and y'all mentioned Six of Clubs right away. I wonder what the significance is being in my Venus period. Oh, great. Okay. So what that means. Oh, Jeannie, what do you think? I mean, Jeannie blows my mind because she has such an intuitive and mathematical grasp of the cards, and a bunch of you do. And when you chime in, I'm like, oh my God, I thought about that. Because you just get used to your little road, your little neural pathway. I would say the textbook answer to that is that there may be some sort of karmic agreement in regard to home or relationship that comes up. I would say for a fuller understanding, and I talk about this in my little book, which I don't have a copy of right here, but you just take the card of the 52-day influence and you look at the entire hand of that card and break it down that way and say, my Mercury period, and then I would also go ascending and descending with it. So, your Mercury, what's on your mind and in your heart might be both emotional healing and control issues, as well as karmic agreements or needing or wanting things to go smoothly. And then the Venus descending would be the Queen of Hearts, ascending would be the Two of Spades. How am I with sex, marriage, addiction, and partnership, that Two of Spades? How will thinking about those things help me to think about how I am as a friend? I mean, there's a real full-on way to do a 52-day card reading. It's so much more happens in 52 days than one card, right? So I just kind of, just went in there like a little beaver and chewed up all the sticks, and that's what I came up with. Okay, Jeannie says you're going to be having a lot of conversations with people meant to close windows that you no longer need open. Some conversations need to be had, kind of thing. You may not be able to avoid the heavy conversations. It's meant to tie up loose ends. I think you could say that's true of the life of a Six of Clubs, because they have, are you talking about in their Six of Spades Mercury position, there's a Nine of Spades there. So it's like a close the door conversation. And when I was dating, I was with the Six of Clubs for 6 years, and I had this really vivid past life memory that we were in this little cow town on the western frontier, and he was the sheriff, and I was a large matronly librarian. I was brilliant and very understimulated, so I learned how to astral project. And he was the only interesting, somewhat, I was kind of condescending. I was probably East Coast or something. And he was the only, like, halfway intelligent, not just halfway. He was really intelligent, very amusing guy in town, and there was a definite attraction. And so it's like, yeah, let's hook up later. But it's like, one and done. We are so done. And that door closed, and they were really karmic and important conversations that he had with me that changed my life. He was kind of emotionally abusive at times, but I learned so much about myself in that relationship. It was absolutely pivotal. So, God, I feel like I've been going blah, blah, blah this whole time. It might also indicate that things go kind of smoothly, but it's also, Bronze Beauty, it's also very important. What's your card? What's your birth card? And what is your particular relationship to the Six of Clubs? I do feel like I've closed out some karmic ties with people from my past. I feel lighter in my heart space and ready to receive love now. Oh, I feel a very soft energy for you with this Six of Clubs in Venus, Eight of Clubs. and you're 33, which is influenced by the Seven of Diamonds because she is the 33rd card. So it's a year to focus on your unique gifts and abilities, whatever blockages you might have around money or feeling like you are valued, that kind of thing. It can be really brilliant. It can be a really fun year and extremely challenging for the Eight of Clubs because the Eight of Clubs is exactly equidistant between the Seven of Diamonds and the Nine of Hearts. These are semi-fixed. This is fixed. And it sits in a position where the Seven of Diamonds, Nine of Hearts represents a kind of graduation for you. One is ascending, one is descending. And the Eight of Clubs is that for the Seven of Diamonds, Nine of Hearts as well. It's like so cool. My daughter is the Eight of Clubs. So the Six of Clubs is a Venus card for you, right? It is a Venus card. I say that because it's ascending. There is a Venus connection because you're 2 cards away. So Six of Clubs could be like, okay, I will know I'm in my happy Venus place when I'm in my appointed karmic relationship. So happy to be stuck with you. I don't know. That's one interpretation. But it's also, I'm just happy when things are planned out and go smoothly. Like sixes are planners. And my daughter, Eight of Clubs, is very much a planner. I mean, like she totally lost her shit one day with me on a bike ride. She was probably about, I don't know, 10 or 12. And she's like, what's the plan? And I was like, we'll find out when we get there. Wrong answer. I love it when people make that sound. We'll figure it out when we get there. Crystal was not having it. She had a meltdown. And I was like, oh, honey, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, considering how the sixes are karmic numbers, but they're internalizing, look at the shape of the six, how it starts at the top and ends internalizing. So this can allow you to absorb the info you need. You're similar, you need things to be planned. Because it's the Venus period, you can attract the people that are supposed to be there with you, but you have to let your intuition guide you to choosing your peoples. Yeah, that's really well said. Sixes are very intuitive. They don't always acknowledge it. The clubs are more like, especially the guys, they're like, oh, like I'm in my head. I figured this out. It's logical. It's rational, but the truth is they're intuitive. They're feeling their way. And that six, the shape that Jeannie pointed out, very, very good. It's like they need to figure out that they need to end up there. They need to come to trust it. And I think their whole life is a journey to figuring that out. I mean, I have a Six of Clubs client that I've had for 17 years at least, maybe 16. My longest term client, my Six of Clubs. And she has just figured out that maybe one reason she has difficulty socially is because she grew up in a critical family. And to like go on this journey and like finally get to this place of like causation. And it's so interesting too, because her guides didn't reveal that to me because she wasn't ready to know it. And it's like obvious, right? But yeah, it's cool how that works. Crystal, LOL, that my mom, she's a 5 of diamonds, 7 of clubs, definitely a planner. So Jeannie's a 5 of diamonds too. The 5 of diamonds are unique in that regard. They can seem really like random, playful, childlike. They need a lot of stimulation. They're fun. They're funny. They're brilliant. They can talk a mile a minute. They're just so fun to be with. I have a particular alchemy with them. Okay, so this is a really fun thing to do, talk about relationship calculators. It's very simple. You just line up all the cards in your hand, and then you line up theirs underneath. And the thing about the 5 of diamonds is that we both have a 7 in our moon. We both have a spade in our Mercury. We both have a jack in our Venus. We both have a 9 in our Mars, a spade in our Jupiter, a 2 in our Saturn, a king. It goes that far and then it ends. King in the next one. And so there's just this with the 7 of diamonds. Yeah, it's just a great parallel feeling. But the thing about the 5 of diamonds is they have this Queen of Spades and Mercury, so they can think with authority. They have a sovereignty of self, and they're not going to advertise that. They may have the capacity to speak with that voice, but they're gonna get in their Jack of Clubs to interact with it. They're going to be fun, funny, lighthearted. Like, your life is your life. I don't have to fix you. You know, even though on a deep emotional level in relationships, they like can be totally codependent. I think in their friendships, it's easier for them to be like, ah, it's your shit. I don't want to deal with it. My favorite 5 of diamonds friend moved to Missoula and she's totally ghosted me. It's like out of sight, out of mind. But it's like, I don't even hold it against her because she's a 5 of diamonds. You know, how can you? But anyway, yeah, there's some very strong cards here and incredible versatility. Plus, that 7 of clubs in their moon position or ascending Mercury is emotional intelligence, sensitivity to vibration, energy, frequency. They can be healers. Yep, they're really cool. I love 5 of diamonds. I don't talk about them very much because, I mean, just like, I don't just go there because Jeannie's the 5 of diamonds. So maybe we just get enough of it, you know? But we should really look into it sometime, right? Jeannie hates planning, but I love it. I hate it, but I love it. But I love it. But I'm not very reliable because I end up ADHDing to death. I love that I get your writing, right? I'm so ADHD. It's fun, right? It's fun. Super chemistry. She's OCD, like she's a planner, like she doesn't know how to live in the moment for sure. She always worries. Really? And she's a 5 of diamonds? That's wild. Every once in a while you meet someone like that that's like totally opposite in a way. And, you know, immediately I'm like, do they have their birthday right? Yeah. So this might be the reason because she's July 10th. Cancer, planetary ruler, would be 7 of clubs. 10 of clubs tend to be kind of more warriors, but she's also the Queen of Spades. So in the ascending hand, you can have a different planetary ruler if you're going the other direction. So this would be her moon card. So consider that possibility that your mom is the Queen of Spades. Also consider the Queen of Diamonds as a personality card. But if she's got club, diamond, spade, you got to look at all those queens. Is she a Virgo rising? Interesting. But she was born around 11 o'clock. Yeah. I once had a woman come into Lighthouse Bookstore and I gave her this whole long ass reading and I'm like still trying to, you know, work my craft and I'm all just kind of breathless and, you know, trying to impress her and just make sure I'm giving her money's worth and, you know, that kind of nervous anxiety at the beginning when you're trying to prove yourself and I get to the end and, you know, every other person I had ever had was just like hair blown back. And then they would tell Rick up front how amazing it was. And he just came to worship the ground I walked on because everyone was just like blown away. And she just looks at me with this deadpan face and she's like, that didn't fit at all. And she just got up and walked out and didn't pay. I was like, that's so weird. And then in retrospect, I realized I probably fucking nailed her ass and she just couldn't deal with it. And I needed that experience. It's going to happen, you know? Okay, I think maybe it is time to say goodbye. Does anybody have anything else to say? Because we were really cooking there. We have 11 people. We have 12 people watching now. David Wilcock is like, well, we're up to 6,000 now. And I'm like, I'm just really excited when I get 10, you know? It's great. But it allows for actual interaction. And that's what I'm after, is the interaction. Because I believe teaching happens when there's curiosity. So, you know, I just put a subject up there just so that I have a subject. So I have something to talk about while I'm waiting for people to join. That's pretty much the only reason I have a title. And I loosely adhere to it. But we did do a really awesome composite at the beginning of this video. So if you want to go back, Cosmic Sunflower volunteered she and her husband's cards. They've been together 9 years, and it was the most symmetrical composite relationship calculator. And it's kind of like Jeannie. We sort of took that guy's work and just customized the interpretation and how it works. And Okay, now I'm just going to be repeating myself. Thanks for the gems. At first I thought that said germs, and I was like, yes, little living things. Thanks for the gems. You are so welcome. It was an honor to be here with you, and Ray, I love having you here. I can feel the warmth and your energy. So anyway, have a really great rest of your day, everybody. Talk to you later, Thursday or Friday, or maybe Saturday. Oh, Crystal says, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us. So much appreciated. Oh, I don't really have anything else going on. I'm just so lazy. Truly. But you're welcome. I honor you thanking me. Yes. And I did make this choice because I'm like, yeah, I really want to do this. Okay. God bless. And thank you for your energy. It was awesome.